Welcome to the Arabian Peninsula, a realm of staggering scale and breathtaking contrasts, stretching over 3 million square kilometers, a land where the very elements are pushed to their limits. Here the imagination conjures endless seas of sand, shimmering beneath a relentless, searing sun. But Arabia is far more than a simple expanse of dunes. Its geography is a tapestry woven from some of the most formidable deserts on Earth, bordered by jagged mountain ranges and the warm tropical waters of the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf. This is a place of astonishing extremes. By day the sun blazes with a ferocity that can push temperatures above 50 degrees Celsius, turning the sand into a shimmering molten sea. As night falls, the heat vanishes, replaced by a biting chill that sweeps across the dunes, plunging temperatures to near freezing. These wild swings create a world of constant adaptation. The Arabian Desert is a land sculpted by wind and time. Towering sand dunes, some rising over 250 meters high, march across the horizon, their shapes ever-changing as fierce winds whip the grains into new formations. In places, the sand gives way to vast gravel plains and rocky plateaus where ancient stones bear the scars of millennia of erosion. Water is the rarest treasure here. Rainfall is infrequent and unpredictable, sometimes absent for years. When it does arrive, it can transform the landscape in moments, carving deep wadis, dry riverbeds that briefly surge with life before fading back into dust. The scarcity of water shapes every living thing, demanding ingenious solutions for survival. Despite these extremes, the Arabian Desert is alive with remarkable creatures. Every animal, from the tiniest insect to the most majestic mammal, is a master of adaptation. Their bodies and behaviors are shaped by the land's harsh demands. Camouflaged fur, oversized ears for heat dissipation, and nocturnal habits to escape the sun's wrath. The ecosystem here is a delicate balance forged by scarcity and competition. Predators and prey are locked in a constant struggle, each relying on keen senses and specialized skills to outwit the other. The drama of survival plays out against a backdrop of shifting sands and unforgiving sun. Some predators, like the sand viper, have evolved to vanish beneath the surface, lying in wait for the faintest vibration of passing prey. Others, like the desert fox, use acute hearing and silent movement to hunt under the cover of darkness. Each adaptation is a response to the land's relentless challenges. The Arabian Desert's extremes have shaped not just its landforms, but the very fabric of its ecosystem. Every creature, every plant, every grain of sand is part of a story of resilience and transformation, a living testament to the power of adaptation. From the reptiles that glide across burning sands to the mammals that trek the endless dunes and even the marine life that flourishes where desert meets sea, each has found a way to endure and thrive. In this world of extremes, every day is a battle for survival, a story of ingenuity, struggle, and ultimate triumph. The Arabian Desert stands as one of the planet's most extraordinary ecosystems, a kingdom ruled by the relentless forces of nature and the remarkable creatures that call it home. When you gaze across the endless sun-baked sands of Arabia today, it's almost impossible to picture the world that once existed here. But if we travel back millions of years, the Arabian Peninsula was a land transformed by time and climate. In the distant past, Arabia was not an isolated desert, but a vibrant extension of the African continent, part of a vast supercontinent blanketed in lush green plains and sprawling savannas. Rivers meandered through fertile valleys, and the land teemed with life. Herds of ancient animals roamed freely, crossing from Africa into Arabia without barriers. Fossil evidence buried deep beneath the sands reveals the bones of long-extinct creatures, giant elephants, hippos, and antelopes that once thrived in this green paradise. The climate was warm and wet, with seasonal rains nourishing a rich tapestry of plants and supporting a dazzling array of wildlife. For millions of years, this world of abundance flourished, with water flowing in rivers and lakes and vegetation stretching as far as the eye could see. But the forces shaping our planet are relentless. Around 35 million years ago, powerful tectonic movements began to reshape the land. The Arabian landmass slowly drifted away from Africa, and the rift that would become the Red Sea began to open, gradually severing the ancient connection. As the continents shifted, the climate began to change. The once steady rains grew less reliable, and the lush plains started to dry. The end of the last ice age, about 10,000 years ago, brought another dramatic shift. As the planet warmed, ice caps melted and sea levels rose, finally isolating Arabia as a peninsula. Fossilized pollen and ancient riverbeds tell the story of a land in transition, where forests and grasslands gave way to scrub and then to desert. The rivers that once carved through the plains dwindled and vanished, and the rich soils turned to dust and sand. The green world was slowly swallowed by the encroaching desert, leaving behind only traces of its former glory. For the animals and plants trapped on the peninsula, survival became a daily struggle. Some species, unable to cope with the loss of water and food, disappeared forever, their fossils now silent witnesses to a vanished age. But others began a remarkable journey of adaptation. Over thousands of years, the survivors evolved new ways to endure the heat, conserve water, and find food in the harshest of conditions. Plants developed deep roots and waxy leaves to survive the arid climate, while animals grew lighter coats, became nocturnal, or learned to travel vast distances in search of sustenance. The DNA of today's desert dwellers carries the legacy of this transformation, shaped by relentless natural selection into the ultimate survivors. Every creature in Arabia's deserts is a living link to that ancient, greener world, a testament to the power of adaptation and the enduring struggle for life. Their story is written in the rocks, the fossils, and the very sands beneath our feet, a story of paradise lost and of life's extraordinary ability to endure and evolve. In the sun-scorched lands of Arabia, one group of animals reigns supreme, the reptiles. These cold-blooded kings have mastered the art of survival in a world where the sun is both a threat and a lifeline. With over 172 different species calling the peninsula home, and more than half of them found nowhere else on Earth, it's clear that this is their kingdom. Each species has carved out a unique niche, from the nimble geckos that dart across the sand at dusk, to the formidable monitor lizards that stalk the dunes. But what makes reptiles so perfectly suited to this extreme environment? The secret lies in their cold-blooded nature, or what scientists call being an ectotherm. This adaptation is the foundation of their success, allowing them to thrive where few others can. Unlike mammals and birds, which burn a lot of energy to keep their bodies at a constant temperature, reptiles rely on the outside world, primarily the sun, to warm up and get active. This is a massive advantage in a place where food and water are scarce. By using the sun as their furnace, reptiles save an enormous amount of energy. This means they don't need to eat nearly as often as warm-blooded animals of a similar size. A snake, for example, can get by on meals that total just half of its body weight in an entire year. Imagine that. This incredible efficiency allows them to survive long periods of scarcity, waiting patiently for the right opportunity to hunt. They can simply slow their bodies down, conserve their resources, and wait for conditions to improve. This ability makes them the undisputed masters of a low-energy lifestyle, which is the perfect strategy for thriving in the desert. Their reliance on the sun also dictates their daily routine. In the cool mornings, you'll see lizards and snakes basking on rocks, soaking up the first rays of light to raise their body temperature and get their muscles working. Once they are warmed up, they are ready for action, hunting, finding a mate, or defending their territory. As the sun climbs higher and the temperature becomes dangerously hot, they must retreat. They find shelter in burrows, under rocks, or in the shade of a hardy desert plant. This behavior isn't just about comfort. It's a life-or-death necessity to avoid overheating and losing precious water. But what truly sets these cold-blooded predators apart are their hunting tactics and physiological adaptations. Many desert reptiles are ambush predators, lying motionless for hours, perfectly camouflaged against the sand, waiting for unsuspecting prey to wander close. Others, like the sand vipers, use their heat-sensing pits to detect the faintest warmth of a rodent beneath the surface. Some lizards, such as the spiny-tailed agama, rely on bursts of speed and agility to chase down insects or smaller reptiles. Their muscular tails and powerful limbs allow them to sprint across the scorching sand, while their scales reflect sunlight and minimize water loss. Physiologically, desert reptiles have evolved to conserve every drop of moisture, and their skin is thick and covered in scales, reducing evaporation. Many species excrete uric acid instead of liquid urine, further minimizing water loss. Some, like the desert gecko, can even absorb dew through their skin or collect condensation from their burrows. Ecologically, these predators play a vital role in maintaining the balance of the desert. By controlling populations of insects, rodents, and even other reptiles, they prevent outbreaks that could devastate the fragile ecosystem. In turn, they provide food for larger predators such as birds of prey and carnivorous mammals. So, while we might think of being cold-blooded as a disadvantage, in the Arabian Desert it is the ultimate superpower. It allows reptiles to conserve energy, survive on infrequent meals, and perfectly time their activity to avoid the most extreme temperatures. From the smallest gecko to the largest monitor lizard, every reptile in Arabia is a testament to the success of this strategy. They have turned the desert's greatest challenge, the intense solar energy, into their greatest ally, allowing them to dominate this incredible and unforgiving landscape. Among the reptilian rulers of Arabia, the monitor lizard stands as a true giant, an ancient survivor whose story is written in the shifting sands. Growing up to 1.3 meters long, this is the largest and most aggressive lizard on the peninsula. Its size alone commands respect, but it is the monitor's cunning that truly sets it apart. A formidable predator, the monitor lizard stalks the dunes with patience and precision. It can wait motionless for hours, blending into the rocky outcrops, its mottled skin a perfect camouflage against the desert stones. It has excellent hearing and sharp eyesight, but its most powerful tool is its forked tongue, a secret weapon for tracking prey hidden beneath the sand. Like a snake, it flicks its tongue in and out, picking up scent particles from the air and delivering them to a special organ in the roof of its mouth. This allows it to sense the faintest traces of a burrowing rodent or a hidden clutch of eggs. With this directional sense of smell, the monitor lizard can pinpoint its next meal, whether it's an unfortunate dhub lizard basking in the sun or a nest of quail eggs buried beneath the sand. Sometimes it will dig furiously, sending sand flying as it uncovers its prize. The dhub, or spiny-tailed lizard, is another impressive resident of the desert. Unlike the monitor, the dhub is a master of defense and survival, relying on its wits and armor rather than aggression. This large, heavily built lizard is a herbivore, using its strong, chisel-like teeth to munch on the tough, dry vegetation that other animals can't eat. It spends the hottest hours motionless, conserving water and energy, its sandy coloration blending perfectly with the arid landscape. Its body is like a living fortress, covered in tough scales and bony plates under its skin. These natural shields protect it from both the searing sun and the jaws of predators. When threatened by a predator like a monitor lizard, the dhub has a brilliant escape plan. It dashes for its burrow, kicking up clouds of dust as it races for safety. The burrow is a labyrinth of tunnels, sometimes stretching up to 10 meters long. Deep inside, the dhub wedges itself tightly, making it nearly impossible for any predator to pull it out. Once inside, it inflates its body and uses its thick, spiny tail to block the entrance, creating an almost impenetrable barricade. Many a hungry monitor has been left frustrated at the mouth of a dhub's burrow. Of course, no desert would be complete without its snakes, and Arabia has some truly remarkable species, each with its own story of survival and stealth. The horned viper is a master of ambush. With its pale, sand-coloured scales and distinctive horns, it disappears into the dunes, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. It buries itself in the sand with just its eyes and horns sticking out, perfectly camouflaged. When a gerbil or lizard wanders too close, the viper's patience pays off. Sensitive to the faintest vibrations, the viper detects its victim's footsteps through the sand. In a flash, it strikes, delivering a potent venom that can kill in seconds. The prey rarely knows what hit it. To move across the scorching hot sand, the viper uses a unique side-winding motion. By throwing its body in loops with only 2 points touching the ground at any one time, it glides effortlessly over the dunes. This technique minimizes contact with the burning surface and allows the snake to travel quickly and efficiently, even in the hottest part of the day. Other snakes have their own special tricks. Each species has evolved unique ways to hunt, hide, and survive in the harsh desert. The Clifford's diadem snake is a nocturnal hunter emerging under the cover of darkness. Growing up to 2 meters long, it glides silently through the cool night, using stealth and speed to ambush rodents and lizards, killing its prey by constriction. The Arabian sand boa, on the other hand, is a master of the underground. With its wedge-shaped head, it swims beneath the sand, invisible to both predator and prey, searching for unsuspecting lizards to ambush from below. Then there's the hooded malpolon, a snake with a fascinating adaptation for desert life. To survive the relentless dryness, it has developed a unique way to conserve water. It secretes a fatty substance from glands in its nose and spreads it all over its body, creating a protective barrier. This oily coating acts like a sealant, locking in precious moisture and preventing dehydration under the dry desert air, a crucial adaptation for survival. In the endless struggle for life in Arabia's sands, every scale, every movement, and every strategy can mean the difference between life and death. While large lizards and snakes are impressive, some of the desert's most fascinating reptiles are the smaller specialists, the geckos and chameleons. Geckos are the most numerous reptile family in Arabia, with 28 different species, most of whom are active at night. They are perfectly adapted for a life in the dark, with huge eyes that are incredibly sensitive to low light, allowing them to hunt for insects when the desert is cool. Many have a curious habit of licking their own eyeballs to keep them clean and moist, as they don't have eyelids. Their most famous feature, of course, are their incredible feet, which are covered in tiny adhesive pads that let them climb almost any surface. One of the most striking is the Persian wonder gecko, an endangered species found only in this region. This gecko is a true sand specialist. It has enormous eyes to see in the dimmest light and special comb-like scales on its toes. These sand shoes increase the surface area of its feet, allowing it to move quickly across loose sand without sinking, much like a snowshoe works on snow. This adaptation is vital for chasing down prey and escaping its own predators in the shifting dune environment. Its delicate, almost translucent skin provides excellent camouflage against the pale sand, making it a true ghost of the dunes. In the greener coastal regions of southern Arabia, you can find another master of adaptation, the Arabian chameleon. This incredible lizard has a whole suite of amazing features. Its toes are fused together into clamp-like feet, perfect for gripping onto branches. It also has a prehensile tail that it can use as a fifth limb for extra stability. But its most famous abilities are its eyes and its tongue. Its eyes can move independently of each other, giving it a 360-degree view of the world. This means it can look for prey in front of it and watch for predators behind it at the same time. Once it spots an insect, the chameleon unleashes its secret weapon, its tongue. This astonishing appendage is twice the length of its body and can be launched at its target with mind-blowing speed, accelerating from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 1/100th of a second. The tip of the tongue is sticky, snatching the unsuspecting insect and pulling it back into the chameleon's mouth in the blink of an eye. The chameleon can also change its skin color, not just for camouflage, but to communicate with other chameleons or to help regulate its body temperature, turning darker to absorb more heat or lighter to reflect it. While reptiles thrive in the heat, Arabia is also home to some incredibly resilient mammals that have mastered the art of survival in the desert. Here, every day is a test of endurance, ingenuity, and adaptation, as these creatures navigate a world where water is scarce, food is unpredictable, and the sun is relentless. The most iconic of these survivors is the majestic Arabian oryx. Once driven to the brink of extinction, the oryx now roams the sands again, a living symbol of resilience. This beautiful white antelope is thought to be the source of the unicorn myth, as in profile its two long, straight horns can appear as one. But its true magic lies in its rare adaptations. Oryx have some of the most impressive water-saving adaptations in the animal kingdom. They can detect rainfall from miles away, migrating to find fresh shoots and grasses that briefly flourish after rare desert storms. Their kidneys are incredibly efficient, producing highly concentrated urine, and their droppings are almost completely dry. This allows them to survive for weeks without drinking, relying on moisture from the plants they eat. They can also go without sweating, instead allowing their body temperature to rise to a feverish 39 degrees Celsius during the day, dissipating the stored heat in the cool of the night. This adaptation helps them avoid water loss and evade predators by being active at dawn and dusk. Another legendary desert mammal is the dromedary camel. Though the ones roaming Arabia today are descended from domesticated stock, their wild ancestors vanished 2,000 years ago. Camels are the undisputed masters of desert survival, forming the backbone of the desert food chain as both grazers and prey for the region's top predators. Their famous humps don't store water, they store fat. This fat can be metabolized to provide both energy and water when needed, allowing camels to travel for days without food or drink. By concentrating fat in their humps instead of having it spread across their bodies, they avoid an insulating layer that would cause them to overheat. This unique adaptation allows them to graze under the harsh sun while keeping their core temperature stable. Camels also play a crucial role in the desert ecosystem, dispersing seeds as they travel and providing food for scavengers when they die. Their presence shapes the landscape and supports countless other species. They also have thick fur for insulation against both heat and cold, special calluses on their knees and chest to protect them from the hot sand when they lie down, and the ability to close their nostrils to keep sand out during a storm. These features allow them to rest and survive even in the most punishing conditions. Not all of Arabia's mammals are large. The desert is alive with small creatures, each with its own survival story. Rodents burrow deep beneath the sand to escape the heat, emerging at night to forage and avoid predators. The desert is also home to some specialized and elusive predators. These hunters are finely tuned to the rhythms of the sand, forming a complex web of life where every species plays a part. The sand cat is the only member of the feline family that is a true desert specialist. It lives where few others can, thriving in the emptiest stretches of sand. This small, adorable-looking cat is a deadly hunter. It preys on rodents, lizards, and insects using its acute hearing to detect the faintest sounds beneath the sand. It has dense fur that insulates it from the extreme temperatures and thick, hairy pads on its feet. These adaptations allow it to move silently and avoid burning its paws on the scorching ground. These pads act like snowshoes to help it walk on soft sand, protect its paws from the heat, and muffle the sound of its footsteps, making it a silent assassin. The sandcat's stealth is essential as it must avoid larger predators like foxes and birds of prey. It is a nocturnal hunter and gets all the water it needs from its prey, which includes lizards, insects, and small rodents. In turn, the sandcat helps control rodent populations, maintaining balance in the fragile desert food chain. Another small carnivore that has perfected desert life is the Ruppell's fox. Agile and resourceful, it is both predator and scavenger, feeding on insects, small mammals, and even fruit when prey is scarce. This fox is easily recognized by its enormous ears. These are not just for listening, they are a personal cooling system, radiating heat away from the body. These oversized ears are packed with blood vessels that are close to the surface of the skin. As blood flows through the ears, the heat radiates away into the air, helping the fox to cool down. The Ruppell's fox is also a master of cooperation. Pairs often hunt together, using teamwork to flush out prey or defend their territory from rivals. As blood flows through the ears, the heat radiates away into the air, helping the fox to cool down. Their social bonds are strong, and family groups share dens, offering protection for pups against the harsh elements and predators. Like the sandcat, the Ruppell's fox has hairy foot pads to protect it from the hot sand and gets all its moisture from the food it eats. Both species are vital links in the desert food web, preying on rodents and insects and, in turn, providing food for larger carnivores and birds of prey. These small, clever mammals prove that size doesn't matter when it comes to surviving in one of the world's toughest environments. Their rare adaptations, intricate food chains, and subtle interspecies relationships are a testament to the ingenuity of life in Arabia's sands, where every creature, from the smallest rodent to the mighty oryx, plays a part in the grand story of survival. The story of survival in Arabia isn't confined to the sand dunes. Along the peninsula's edge, the Arabian Sea teems with life, where creatures have evolved remarkable strategies to thrive in the ever-changing marine world. Among the most fascinating are the sea snakes. These reptiles, descended from land-dwelling ancestors, have become masters of the ocean, gliding effortlessly through coral reefs and shallow lagoons. Their bodies are perfectly adapted for aquatic life. Paddle-shaped tails propel them with grace, while their lungs have grown long and efficient, allowing them to remain submerged for hours as they hunt. Sea snakes are highly venomous, using their potent toxins to swiftly immobilize darting fish and eels. Their hunting grounds stretch across coral gardens and sandy bottoms, where they weave through crevices in search of prey. Yet, despite their aquatic mastery, they remain tied to the air above. Sea snakes must surface regularly to breathe, a reminder of their terrestrial heritage. On land, their adaptations become a liability. Stranded by the tide, a sea snake is nearly helpless, unable to crawl or slither as its ancestors once did. For these creatures, the boundary between sea and shore is a line between life and death. In the open water, however, they are in their element, true denizens of the sea, perfectly tuned to the rhythms of the tides and currents. The Arabian coast is also a sanctuary for ancient mariners, sea turtles. The loggerhead, with its massive head and powerful jaws, is a frequent visitor, journeying thousands of kilometers across the Indian Ocean to feed and nest. After years spent roaming the open sea, female loggerheads return to the very beaches where they hatched. Under the cover of darkness, they laboriously haul themselves ashore, using their flippers to dig deep nests above the high tide. Here they lay clutches of soft, leathery eggs, burying them in the warm sand before slipping back into the waves. The eggs are left to incubate, their fate determined by the temperature of the nest. Warmer sand produces females, while cooler depths yield males, a delicate balance shaped by the Arabian sun. After 2 months, the hatchlings erupt from the sand in a frantic dash for the sea, braving predators and obstacles in a race for survival. Only a few will make it to the open ocean, where they will join the endless migrations of their kind. The Arabian Sea is alive with movement. Shoals of sardines swirl in vast silver clouds, pursued by predatory fish and dolphins that hunt in coordinated packs, using speed and teamwork to corral their prey. Giants also roam these waters. Whale sharks, the largest fish on Earth, glide through plankton-rich currents, filtering tiny organisms from the sea. Manta rays soar above the reefs, their wide wings sweeping up clouds of microscopic food. Even the smallest creatures play a vital role. Jellyfish drift with the currents, their tentacles trailing in search of prey, while vibrant reef fish graze on algae and hide among the corals, each adapted to the challenges of their watery world. In the Arabian Sea, every creature is shaped by the demands of migration, feeding and survival. From the smallest plankton to the largest turtle, each has found a way to endure the harsh, ever-changing marine environment, true survivors in a world where land and sea meet. Life in the Arabian Desert is dictated by a relentless cycle of temperature extremes, scorching days and chilly nights. For the animals that call this place home, survival depends on a remarkable set of strategies to beat both the heat and the cold. Every movement, every moment of rest, is a calculated response to the sun's power. Desert creatures have evolved to exploit microhabitats, tiny pockets of shade, cool burrows, and even the shadow of a single stone to shield themselves from the harshest conditions. The day begins in the early morning, between about 6 and 9 a.m., when the desert is still cool and gentle shadows stretch across the sand. As the sun rises, temperatures climb from a refreshing 26 degrees Celsius to a warm 37 degrees. This rapid change signals a crucial window for activity. Cold-blooded reptiles like lizards and snakes are among the first to emerge. Their bodies rely on external heat, so they bask on sun-warmed rocks or open sand, absorbing energy to raise their body temperature and jumpstart their metabolism. By carefully choosing where to bask, sometimes half in sun, half in shade, they can fine-tune their body temperature, avoiding overheating while still gaining the warmth they need. This morning window is the prime time for activity for most desert dwellers. The air is cool enough for exertion, and the risk of dehydration is low. Birds, mammals, and lizards all take advantage of these hours, foraging for food and water before the sun's intensity becomes dangerous. The Arabian oryx grazes on sparse vegetation, extracting moisture from leaves and stems, a vital adaptation in a land where water is scarce. Monitor lizards prowl the sand, their bodies now warm and agile, searching for insects and small prey. Dhub lizards feed near their burrow entrances, always ready to dart underground at the first sign of danger or rising heat. It's a period of relative comfort and high energy, a rush hour of activity where every creature must make the most of the fleeting cool. Predators and prey are both on the move, alert and watchful. For some, this is the only chance to hunt or feed before the desert becomes inhospitable. Every animal knows this window is short. As the sun climbs higher, the desert's true challenge begins. By late morning, the desert transforms into a furnace. Heat radiates from every surface, and the air shimmers with intensity. By midday, air temperatures can soar to a staggering 50 degrees Celsius, and the sand itself can reach a blistering 65 degrees or more, hot enough to cook an egg. The surface becomes a deadly trap for the unprepared. To survive, animals must disappear. The desert falls silent, as if life itself has vanished. Most animals retreat into microhabitats, cool burrows, shaded crevices, or beneath rocks, where temperatures can be dramatically lower than on the surface. Dhubs and other lizards vanish deep underground, where the earth insulates them from the heat above. These burrows can be several degrees cooler, providing a safe haven until the sun's power fades. The Arabian oryx seeks out the rare shade of an acacia tree, lowering its activity and slowing its breathing to conserve water and energy. Some animals, like the oryx, use the slightest breeze to help cool themselves, standing in the wind to increase heat loss through evaporation. Camels, masters of desert survival, sit facing the sun to minimize the surface area exposed to direct rays, reducing heat absorption. Their thick fur insulates them from both heat and cold, and their bodies can tolerate dramatic swings in temperature and water loss. As the sun finally sets, the desert cools rapidly. The sand releases its stored heat, and the air becomes refreshingly cool. Temperatures drop from a sweltering 37 degrees to a comfortable 25 degrees or lower, inviting a new wave of activity. Nocturnal animals emerge from their hiding places, perfectly adapted to the cool, dark world of the desert night. The horned viper, with its heat-sensitive pits, detects the faint warmth of prey in the darkness, while the sandcat and Ruppell's fox prowl the dunes, their eyes and ears tuned to the faintest sound or movement. The horned viper glides silently from its sandy hiding place, beginning its nightly hunt. The sandcat and Ruppell's fox, with thick fur and specialized kidneys to conserve water, thrive in the cool night, searching for rodents and insects. Their senses are perfectly adapted to the darkness, allowing them to hunt efficiently while avoiding the heat of the day. Gerbils and geckos, who spent the day hidden in cool burrows, now emerge to forage under the safety of the night sky. Their bodies are adapted to conserve water, and their nocturnal habits protect them from both heat and predators. Through a combination of behavioral shifts, microhabitat use, and remarkable physiological adaptations, the creatures of the Arabian Desert endure the extremes of both heat and cold, completing the endless 24-hour cycle of survival. The story of Arabia's animals is above all a story of extraordinary adaptation, an ongoing saga written in the sands over countless millennia. From the ancient days when the Arabian Peninsula was a lush green haven to its present as a vast arid expanse, life has never ceased to evolve, adapt, and persist. The challenges here are immense: searing heat, relentless drought, and the constant search for food and water. Yet these very hardships have shaped some of the most remarkable evolutionary success stories on Earth. Every creature that calls this land home has developed a unique arsenal of adaptations, each a testament to the power of natural selection and the creativity of evolution. Their bodies, their behaviors, and their daily rhythms are all finely tuned to the desert's extremes, resting in the shade, moving at dawn and dusk, and leaving only the faintest traces in the sand. Consider the intricate scales of reptiles, reflecting sunlight and conserving precious moisture, or the sweeping horns of the oryx, designed for both defense and thermoregulation. Reptiles, with their cold-blooded metabolism, have mastered the art of energy conservation, turning the desert's harsh sun into a vital resource. The Arabian oryx stands as a marvel of water conservation, able to sense distant rainfall and travel vast distances to find it, surviving where few others can. The sandcat and Ruppell's fox are specialists of the dunes, equipped with fur-lined feet to walk on scorching sand and ears that dissipate heat, making them silent, efficient hunters. Even the seas bordering the desert tell a story of adaptation. Sea snakes and turtles, descendants of land dwellers, have evolved to thrive in saline waters, bridging the worlds of sand and surf. Each animal is a living chapter in the grand narrative of resilience, their survival strategies honed by the relentless pressures of their environment. This legacy of survival is a living archive, more vital now than ever as the desert faces new and mounting challenges. The environment itself is changing. Shifting sands, unpredictable rainfall, and the encroachment of new threats test the limits of even the most resilient species. The Arabian oryx, once driven to the edge of extinction, is a symbol of both the fragility and the tenacity of desert life. Its return to the wild is a testament to the power of adaptation and the possibility of renewal, echoing the cycles of survival that have played out for ages. Today, the oryx and its fellow desert dwellers continue to adapt, their populations rising and falling with the rhythms of the land. Around 1,000 oryx now roam free, their presence a living reminder of the desert's enduring spirit and the evolutionary triumphs that have shaped it. The animals of the Arabian Desert are true masters of survival, each a product of countless generations of adaptation. Together, they create a tapestry of life that is rich, diverse, and endlessly fascinating, even in the harshest of environments. Their existence is a delicate balance, a dance with the elements, and a testament to the ingenuity of evolution. Against all odds, they persist, resilient, resourceful, and ever adapting, their stories inspiring awe and respect. These ultimate survivors, keepers of ancient secrets, continue to write new chapters in the golden sands of Arabia. Their legacy of adaptation and survival stands as a beacon of evolutionary success, and as the desert's future unfolds, their remarkable journey will remain a source of wonder and inspiration for generations to come. Hidden beneath the scorching sands and within the cracks of sun-baked rocks, a vast world thrives, one ruled by the smallest inhabitants of the Arabian Desert, insects and arachnids. Though easily overlooked, these tiny creatures are the invisible architects of the ecosystem, weaving the threads that hold the desert's delicate web of life together. From industrious ants tunneling deep underground to avoid the midday heat, to tenacious dung beetles tirelessly recycling nutrients, each insect plays a vital role. Camouflaged grasshoppers blend perfectly with golden sands, leaping away from predators in the blink of an eye. Meanwhile, desert locusts, driven by ancient rhythms, can transform the landscape overnight, their swarms a reminder of nature's unpredictable power. Arachnids, too, are masters of adaptation. The Arabian fat-tailed scorpion, with its venomous sting, emerges under the cover of darkness, hunting with precision. Wolf spiders, swift and agile, chase down prey across the dunes, while trapdoor spiders patiently await the slightest vibration near their hidden burrows. Even the delicate web spinners contribute, capturing flying insects and keeping populations in balance. Survival here demands ingenious tactics. Many desert insects and arachnids are nocturnal, venturing out only when temperatures plummet. Some, like the Namib beetle's Arabian cousin, harvest precious moisture from early morning dew, channeling water droplets to their mouths with specialized body shapes. Their impact is profound. By pollinating desert blooms, breaking down organic matter and serving as a crucial food source for reptiles, birds and mammals, these unseen laborers shape every corner of the Arabian wild. They are the foundation upon which larger life depends, quietly engineering the cycles of renewal and decay. In the endless dance of survival, it is these invisible architects, the insects and arachnids, who ensure that the desert remains alive, resilient, and ever-evolving. Their silent industry is the heartbeat of Arabia's wilderness, a testament to the power of adaptation, even at the smallest scale. As the fiery sun sinks below the horizon, a transformation sweeps across the Arabian desert. Shadows stretch, temperatures plunge, and the true masters of the night emerge. Under the cloak of darkness, a new cast of predators takes center stage, each exquisitely adapted to the challenges of desert nights. For these nocturnal hunters, survival depends on senses sharpened beyond human comprehension. Owls, with their silent wings and piercing vision, glide low over the sands, detecting the slightest movement below. Tiny rodents and insects, unaware of their silent approach, become easy prey. Meanwhile, the desert fox relies on oversized ears to pick up the faintest rustle, pinpointing hidden creatures beneath the sand. But it's not just mammals and birds who rule the night. Reptiles like the sand viper lie in ambush, sensing the body heat of unsuspecting victims with specialized pits. Scorpions, their exoskeletons glowing under ultraviolet light, use sensitive hairs on their legs to track vibrations, each movement a potential meal. These night stalkers have developed ingenious hunting strategies. Some, like the gecko, climb vertical surfaces with ease, snatching insects drawn to the coolness of rocks. Others, like the Arabian wolf spider, patrol the dunes, using acute eyesight and swift reflexes to outmaneuver prey. Yet the darkness brings its own dangers. Navigating the chill and avoiding larger predators demands constant vigilance. For every successful hunt, there are countless close calls, a testament to the relentless competition beneath the desert's stars. In the Arabian wilderness, the night belongs to those who have mastered it. Their stealth, senses, and cunning ensure that life continues, even when the world seems still. In the silence of the night, the desert's pulse beats on, driven by its most elusive and extraordinary hunters. As dawn breaks and the desert slowly stirs, another realm of mastery reveals itself, not on the scorching sands, but in the boundless sky above. Here the lords of the wind take flight, birds of prey and migratory wanderers, each uniquely adapted to the extremes of the Arabian desert. High above the dunes, falcons and eagles ride the thermal currents, their keen eyesight scanning for the slightest glimmer of movement below. With wings built for speed and endurance, these predators can spot a lizard or rodent from hundreds of meters away, swooping down in a breathtaking display of precision and power. The desert's open expanse becomes their hunting ground, every rise and fall of the land mapped in their memory. But the sky is not ruled by hunters alone. Each year the desert becomes a critical crossroads for migratory birds, traveling thousands of kilometers between continents. From slender storks and vibrant bee-eaters to flocks of sand grouse, these avian travelers rely on ancient instincts and celestial cues to navigate the harsh landscape. The sun, stars, and even the Earth's magnetic field guide their journey, while their bodies adapt to conserve water and energy during the grueling passage. Survival here means more than just finding food. Birds of prey have developed specialized feathers for silent flight, helping them ambush prey in the cool of early morning or late afternoon. Migratory birds time their rest stops with the fleeting bursts of desert bloom, feasting on insects and seeds brought to life by rare rains. In the endless blue above the shifting sands, life persists in constant motion. The birds of the Arabian Desert, hunters and travelers alike, embody the spirit of adaptation, resilience, and the eternal quest for survival in one of the most challenging environments on Earth. As the sun climbs higher and the desert awakens, these masters of the sky remain ever watchful, reminding us that the pulse of life beats not just on the ground but in the vast and vibrant air above. Beneath the blazing surface of the Arabian Desert lies a hidden world, largely unseen but teeming with life. Here, in the cool darkness just below the sand, burrowing animals have carved out intricate networks, an underground refuge from the relentless heat and biting cold above. Fennec foxes, with their oversized ears and nimble paws, dig deep dens to raise their young and escape the midday sun. Gerbils and spiny mice create elaborate tunnels, weaving through the earth in search of seeds and roots, rarely venturing out during the harshest hours of daylight. Even snakes like the sand boa vanish beneath the surface, waiting patiently for unsuspecting prey to pass overhead. These underground architects have evolved extraordinary adaptations. Their bodies are built for digging, with specially shaped limbs and fur that repels sand. Their senses are finely tuned to detect vibrations and changes in air pressure, warning them of predators or shifting weather. Some, like the desert skink, can even swim through loose sand, moving with ease where others would struggle. In these cool, shadowy corridors, life moves to a different rhythm. Moisture is conserved, energy is spent wisely, and every tunnel leads to a new opportunity for survival. The burrows not only protect their makers, but also create micro-habitats for countless insects and smaller creatures, forming a delicate web of life beneath the dunes. Life beneath the sands is a testament to resilience and ingenuity, a silent, unseen world that plays a vital role in the desert's ecosystem. While the surface blazes and the winds howl, these hidden dwellers thrive, proving that sometimes the greatest survival stories are written out of sight. Amidst the endless waves of sand and stone, rare pockets of life emerge, ephemeral oases, the desert's most precious jewels. Born from ancient underground rivers or sudden life-giving rains, these oases are sanctuaries where water surfaces, nourishing a burst of green in an otherwise golden world. Palm trees cluster around shimmering pools, their roots reaching deep for moisture, while reeds and grasses fringe the water's edge, providing shelter for countless creatures. Frogs and insects, dormant for months, awaken with the rains, filling the air with the sounds of new life. Dragonflies dart over the water, hunting tiny prey, while small birds flit between the shade and sun, feasting on seeds and insects. Fish, some found nowhere else, thrive in isolated pools, their populations shaped by cycles of drought and flood. Even desert reptiles like the sandfish and fringe-toed lizard venture to these oases, drawn by the promise of food and the respite from heat. But the oasis is more than a refuge. It is a dynamic crossroads where life converges and competes. Predators lie in wait, camouflaged in the rushes, while scavengers patrol the edges for fallen fruit or abandoned eggs. Beetles and ants harvest what the wind brings, and every drop of water is quickly claimed, recycled, and reused by the web of life. Yet oases are fleeting. As water recedes, plants wither and animals move on, leaving behind only memories and seeds awaiting the next rain. These ephemeral sanctuaries are reminders of the desert's delicate balance, a place where life seizes every chance, and every oasis, no matter how brief, becomes a miracle of survival. In the harsh sun and shifting sands, desert plants are true survivors, masters of adaptation. Here, every leaf, stem, and root tells a story of resilience. Some, like the iconic cacti and succulents, store precious water within their swollen tissues, rationing it through long, rainless months. Their waxy skins and tiny pores help conserve every drop, while deep or sprawling roots hunt for hidden moisture far below the surface or spread wide to capture fleeting rainfall. Others, such as the desert rose, have evolved to shed their leaves entirely during drought, reducing water loss to the bare minimum. Even seeds play a waiting game. Many desert plants produce seeds that can lie dormant for years, awakening only when the rain finally falls. In these rare moments, the desert floor erupts in a sudden blaze of color, flowers racing to bloom, pollinate, and set seed before the heat returns. But survival is not a solo act. Some plants form powerful partnerships with fungi or bacteria, exchanging nutrients and water through invisible networks beneath the soil. Others, like acacias, offer shelter or nectar to ants, who in return protect them from hungry herbivores. In the desert, every adaptation is a lifeline. From ingenious water storage to alliances beneath the surface, these plant survivors demonstrate the relentless will to live, turning even the driest wasteland into a tapestry of hidden life. In the relentless expanse of the desert, survival is a daily contest played out between predator and prey. Here, every movement, every sound, and every shadow can tip the scales between life and death. The food web is intricate, spun from countless interactions among creatures perfectly adapted to this unforgiving environment. At dusk, the desert comes alive. A sidewinder rattlesnake glides silently across the sand, its heat-sensing pits scanning for the faintest signature of a kangaroo rat. The rat, in turn, relies on lightning-fast reflexes and powerful hind legs to leap away from danger, vanishing into a maze of burrows at the first hint of threat. Above, a horned owl perches in silence, its eyes fixed on the movements below. With a sudden swoop, it snatches an unsuspecting jerboa, its wings whispering through the cool night air. Even the mighty owl must remain alert. Foxes and wildcats prowl the shadows, eager for a chance meal. Smaller hunters, like the antlion, dig conical traps in the sand, waiting patiently for unwary insects to stumble into their jaws. Meanwhile, scorpions use their pincers and venom to ambush beetles and spiders, each encounter a test of patience and precision. But prey have their own arsenal of defenses. Camouflage, speed, and burrowing are just the beginning. Some, like the spiny-tailed lizard, inflate their bodies and wedge tightly into rocky crevices, making extraction nearly impossible for predators. Others emit foul odors or even shed their tails to escape a deadly grip. Every predator relies on stealth and strategy, while every prey species hones its senses and survival tactics. This constant game of cat and mouse played out on scorching sands and beneath starry skies, shapes the very fabric of desert life. Here, balance is everything, and the web of life is woven with both caution and cunning. In the heart of the desert, the landscape is never still. Shifting dunes and sudden sandstorms reshape the world with every gust of wind, transforming valleys into hills, burying plants, and uncovering long-hidden secrets. For the creatures and plants that call these sands home, survival means embracing constant change. A desert fox emerges from its burrow, only to find the familiar entrance half buried by last night's drifting dunes. With practiced paws, it digs through the soft sand, revealing a hidden tunnel system that stretches beneath the surface, an ever-changing labyrinth that keeps predators at bay and shelters the fox from the sun's harsh rays. Nearby, a resilient shrub stands as a testament to adaptation. Its roots plunge deep, anchoring it against the relentless wind, while waxy leaves minimize water loss. When a sandstorm sweeps across the plain, the shrub bends but does not break, its flexible branches allowing the sand to flow around rather than over its green crown. Beneath the surface, a beetle senses the vibrations of approaching winds. Instinctively, it burrows deeper, escaping the abrasive storm above. When the sands settle, it emerges once more, leaving intricate tracks across the freshly smoothed dunes, proof of survival in a world that never stands still. Sandfish lizards, named for their ability to swim through loose sand, slip beneath the surface at the first sign of trouble. Their smooth, streamlined bodies reduce friction, allowing them to glide effortlessly below the storm, safe from both predators and the elements. Even seeds have evolved to ride the winds. Encased in tough shells, they roll across the desert, carried by the breeze to new resting places. Some will find shelter in the lee of a rock where moisture gathers and life can begin again. In this ever-changing world, adaptation is not just a trait, it is a way of life. From the smallest insect to the hardiest plant, every organism must learn to survive on the moving stage of the shifting sands. As the sun rises on the Arabian Desert, its ancient sands shimmer with possibility and uncertainty. In the face of a changing climate, the desert story is entering a new chapter. Temperatures climb higher, and rainfall patterns become ever more unpredictable. For the animals and plants that have thrived here for millennia, survival now depends on resilience and the ability to adapt faster than ever before. Some species, like the sand gazelle, may shift their ranges, following the shrinking patches of vegetation that still manage to flourish after rare desert rains. Others, such as the nimble jerboa, dig deeper, crafting cooler burrows to escape the intensifying heat above. Reptiles, masters of thermoregulation, may alter their daily rhythms, venturing out only in the deep twilight when the desert briefly surrenders its heat to the night. Plants, too, are evolving. Tougher seeds, able to endure longer droughts and more extreme temperatures, lie dormant until the perfect storm awakens them. Shrubs and grasses may grow smaller, conserving water and energy, their roots reaching even deeper in search of hidden moisture. Some will find new partnerships with fungi and bacteria, forming alliances that help them survive where others cannot. Yet, even as the desert changes, life persists. The shifting sands have always demanded ingenuity and perseverance. In the face of climate change, the desert's creatures, great and small, draw upon ancient wisdom, adapting, evolving, and finding new ways to thrive. The future of the Arabian Desert is uncertain, but one truth endures. In this land of extremes, resilience is the greatest legacy of all.